So, your coach Borino with you officially. Welcome to another edition of Borino Live. This is Wednesday. We come to you live every Wednesday. This is first broadcast live to our Facebook, the Real Estate Rockstars group. We are. By the way, I meant to tell you this. First of all, thank you. We are one of the fastest, most awesomest real estate group, fastest growing real estate groups on Facebook. And I very much appreciate it. If you know of anybody who would benefit, a good agent, whether a newbie or a seasoned rock star, who would like to be part of it, who you feel would benefit from the information, from the inspiration, all the cool stuff we do on Rockstars, send them to our group, have them sign up. I want our group to grow. I want this to be a central piece of inspiration, motivation, resources, answers, and just good times. I love hanging out with you. I love posting and answering your questions. Some of them I will answer today on this live broadcast. If you're watching this on replay, it's good to have you. You can always watch us live on Facebook. Just look up Real Estate Rockstars. That's our group. Join us, and you can interact and chat with me live. All right, my friends. Groovy. Oh, Mr. Elias, very nice to have you. We're going to be back in the boot camp, right, sir? Good to have you and Alejandra back. All right, and the show is on the road, my friends. Very good. So now, let me take the silliness off. By the way, might as well start with that. Why don't we start with that? I have an idea for you. You know how I share these ideas with you? So here's one of them. We are about, 2 weeks away from Halloween, right? Phenomenal opportunity. Here's what I mean. Real estate is a people business. It's always been a people business. It always will be a people business. What are you doing? There are two things that I recommend you do. One, get a funny little hat like that, and there'll be accessories and the whole thing. That's the first thing. But the second thing you should do is ask yourself this. What can I do to connect and interact with my sphere, with my friends, with my neighbors, people around me, to either nurture the connections I already have or establish new ones? Because this business will always come down to just one thing. People must like you, they must know you, of course, like you, respect you, to do business with you, and to trust you. And social interactions, we are social human beings. That's how we're wired. We're social animals, really, social beings who need connections and interactions. What can you do for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, or whatever holiday you celebrate, New Year's, to establish, expand, and nurture these interactions? What can you do? I'll give you a couple of tips of things you can do. Go to parties. There'll be parties, right, in the neighborhood parties, your neighbors, your friends. Go. Not to pass out business cards. This is not going to be like the politician, oh, nice to meet you, I'm in real estate, who do you know? You're going to fuck it up, don't do that. You're going to annoy people and push them away. It is more about creating genuine connections where you're interested in the other people. You ask them questions. What do you do for a living? How do you know the host? Connect with them first as a human, excuse me, as a human being. Does that make sense? So that's one. And two, throw a party. Invite your near neighbors, invite your close friends, invite your past clients, invite people from your sphere of influence. Doesn't need to be lavish, doesn't need to be too expensive, doesn't need to be too elaborate. Just a few costumes, just have fun. The idea is you start linking fun and good times to you. Where most real estate agents, unfortunately, the reputation that we have, not we, but they do, is that we're sleazy, salesy, we cannot be trusted. So you want to relink that to fun, good times, cool, interested in me, because that's all everybody wants. To every person you interact with, every person who may be a potential client, every person who is a prospect, they are the most important person in the world. Can you make them feel that way? By communicating with them, by having a conversation with them, by being cool, being engaged. Now, work will come, of course, as topic of the conversation. You can absolutely, you don't hide the fact that you're in real estate, you don't hide the fact that you help people, you don't hide the fact that's how you earn a living, but you don't have to shove it down their throat. It comes out organically and naturally. That's my first and probably the most important tip to you I can give you right now. Be social. Same for Thanksgiving. Interact with people, hang out with people, go see them, have them come see you. Same with Christmas, same with New Year's. Those are great opportunities to expand your sphere, get a bunch of referrals as a result by being cool, by being helpful, by not being pushy, sleazy, salesy, arrogant salesperson like majority of the people out there. Cool tip? What do you guys think? You like it? Do it. You don't need to overthink it. This is not something you need to spend a lot of time and a lot of money on. Just go to Evite, set up a little invitation, invite people, go for it. Some will show up, some will not. But those that do, here's the trick. Once the party is going, everybody will have some kind of silly costume on, right? take pictures, shoot a video. Now you can post it on Facebook. Now you can start tagging people. Now you deepen or establish connections with people you haven't even met before. New connections, or those that you already have, you reconnect on a deeper level. Now you have these photos, you can start posting, you can start sending it to people. You do a little video. See, the cool thing is, you will be positioned not just as an expert, the real estate expert, but somebody who's fun. Somebody who knows how to have fun, how to participate, somebody who is social. This is a social business. This is a people business. And the better skills you can develop and have and establish as a people person, the more successful you can be. Cool? So that's what you got to do. That's your homework. Don't wait too long because it's coming. People are already making plans. So jump on it right away. Maybe you bring your affiliate on board who can support you and sponsor it a little bit. Now, of course, check legal ramifications and all that. You're not looking for kickbacks, but you're looking for somebody who can make it even more fun with like maybe face painting or a food truck or something fun and people that will people appreciate. Yeah? Good tip? All right. So, how are you guys so far? Let me take a pulse. What's going on here? All right. Mr. Kenneth just joined us. Ken Canton from lovely Chicago. How are you, my good sir? Nice to have you. Thanks for all your contributions to the group, by the way. I very much appreciate all that cool stuff you do in the group. For those who are just joining us, welcome. It's your coach Borino. Having a really good time with you here. I'm just opening up the comments. All right. Mr. Alexis just joined us. Welcome, Alexis. Nice. Excellent. Alexis just joined the Success Plus. Welcome. Good to have you, Alexis. I'm really looking forward to working with you. The success will depend on two things. Number one, you actually going through the materials. You know, I have the course here. I just keep it here now for the entertainment value. I bought a course, might as well show you. This was like $2,500. Let me show you. Really expensive stuff. It's like DVDs and workbook. Look at this. And it's from two smart guys. This is actually a friend of mine, somebody who taught me a lot of stuff, Mr. Frank Kern. So it's really good. Look at that. It's still shrink wrap. Can you see the dust? Look at the dust. Can you see that? Look. See that? Never opened. $2,500. So, those of you guys who came on board, Christy Allen, welcome. You, Alexis, and a bunch of other people. Go through the stuff. Doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to study it step by step, detail. Just get familiar with it. That's step one. Step two, communicate with me. And that means set up the implementation session. It comes with the system. Every system you get, whether it's FSBORINO, the Presentation Plus, or the Expired Plus, or the Success Plus, you're going to link to my calendar, set up the meeting, and we're going to get on the phone and implement everything. I will walk you through it, answer your questions, so to make sure that it doesn't end up on the shelf like my stuff, that you're actually going to use it, and more importantly, you're going to make money of it. Cool? So let's do that. And for everybody else who has either the Expired or the FSBO system or the listing presentation system, if you haven't set up the meeting, shoot Roseanne a quick email, info@borinoproductions.com, or just post it on Facebook, tag me or Roseanne, and we'll set up that meeting for you. Groovy? All right, Melanie, welcome. Excelente. So now, let's get to some questions. Here you go. The first one is from Lindsay, and she writes, "Hi, Borino. This is from the Rockstar Group. I have a big question. These master knowledge and skills make me feel worthless. I feel down. How do I love myself every day while I'm still in a learning process? If I don't love myself, how can I go get it?" I don't think I'm the only one feel like this, but I wanted to point it out. Lindsay, that's a very serious and heavy question, and you're right. It's no joke, and many of us felt at one point or another worthless, or like the mountain I have to climb, it's so huge. I can totally relate to it. You know, me being an immigrant from Czechoslovakia, when I really got the taste of what this business was all about, what success and making money was all about, it suddenly felt so overwhelming. It felt so huge. And I started comparing myself to other more seasoned real estate agents, especially the really successful ones, making the money I wanted to make, driving the cars that I wanted to drive, and living the lifestyle I wanted. Suddenly I saw the path in front of me. It felt so huge and so long and so unattainable. And there were times when I wanted to give up. And every single one of you rock stars, whether it's Elias and Alejandra, you people who are making really nice living, or you guys starting out, I'm sure if I took a poll, 100% of you at certain point felt that way. Am I right? Yeah? So number one, Lindsay, I'm going to give you, you're not alone, just like you said. And number two, what you feel is normal. It is normal because you've reached that point past the, I mean, it goes like this. You get your license here and you're all excited and you start climbing this mountain, right? And there's this enthusiasm and excitement. So that's the first phase. And the reason you're enthusiastic and excited is because you have no idea what's coming, what it means to be a successful agent and how to run a successful business. And then this gate opens when you suddenly realize the path ahead of you. And this is about right here, about halfway through, sometimes even sooner, where most agents quit. That's why we have over 80% failure rate. It's suddenly they realize they need to know how to run a business, they need to know how much they need to know about real estate and how much they don't know, that they're now become aware of to reach this point. Yeah? So you are maybe somewhere here, right here in this point. You still have this road to go. This is the place where systems start to click in. You start owning the dialogues, you start owning the system, you start understanding the basics, how to generate leads, how to get appointments, how to get listings. Now here's the interesting part. After this point, you're already making money, and this shouldn't take too long. That's the beautiful thing about real estate. You don't need a long time, but it's going to take some time to get this point. You realize how much further you still have to go. Here's why. The learning will never stop, in real estate or in life. There will always be something ahead of you that you can improve, to get better, to learn, to master. Me, masters, I know people who are multimillionaires, very successful, top, in the middle, or on the bottom. There's always something you must improve. There's no way around it. This business has changed. When we started, some of you veterans can relate to that. We had the MLS book. Remember those? Every 10 days they would print these like phone books with tiny little microscopic stamp-sized black and white pictures. That's if the property had a picture. A little bit of a description, few remarks. That was our MLS. And you would have to thumb through it to do your CMA. The first section was actives, then there were pendings, then it was sold, and it was expired. And it was this giant book. By the time you were done with it, your fingers were dirty and messy. It had that print like newspaper, you know, shitty. It was hard to organize. It was hard to navigate. Remember those days? Look how far we've come with internet, with now video, with virtual tours, with 3D, with the marketing tools and resources we have at our fingertips. I mean, Jesus Christ, you carry a video production machine in your pocket. You can produce HD, high quality, high definition video right from your phone. You can communicate. I talked to my mom. I was sitting in my backyard a couple of days ago talking to my mom, full HD, full color. She lives on the other side of the world. I mean, think about it, how far we've come. This business is always changing, always evolving. You will always have to learn new stuff. You will always have to progress. That's a given. So to think and hope that you're going to reach one point where it's done and you're ready, it never is going to happen. So now how do you overcome this sense of overwhelmment and despair that hits every single one of us once in a while? I'll give you a few things that helped me. Number one, this is first and foremost a mental game. The success in real estate and in any business depends, for the biggest part of it, the biggest chunk, is mental. It's in your head. Get your head straight. What helped me is I met Tony Robbins. That was a breakthrough for me. Like they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. Tony Robbins appeared. I got his program, The Personal Power, went through it and actually did the exercises. That was the trick. Started to see things in a different light, in a different way. Suddenly I realized that I was worthy of success, that there was some subconscious programming I was carrying around with me. Money's hard to come by. That was holding me back. Once I cleared that up, everything opened up. So that's the first thing. Look for resources, tips, books, people, places, workshops. There's plenty of inspiration around you to help you. Okay? Get a book by Jen Sincero called You Are a Badass. Great read, very inspirational, will help you with a lot of these kind of issues mentally. So that's step one. Step two, break it down. Simplify it. You don't need to learn how to prospect. You don't need to learn how to prospect in a month. Don't do that. Don't overwhelm yourself with all these things. Start breaking it down into simple, manageable tasks that you not only have to learn, but to master and do daily. Where you are is where you are. Do the best you can with what you have. So here's what you do. Start with lead generation. I've been doing this for about 20 years. And I can tell you without a doubt, the number one reason agents fail is not because they make too much money. Not because they get too rich. I'm still waiting for that phone call. Borino, I'm too rich, making too much money. I need your help. Hasn't happened yet in 20 years. But the reason agents fail is number one, that path, but the real reality is they don't have a system to systematically generate leads. That's it. You guys who are doing well, many of you my students, thank you, thanks for being my students and clients, are doing well because you know how to systematically generate business. You know the steps that it takes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from making a contact or running an ad or sending a postcard or making a phone call, whatever, all the way to get an appointment and get a listing. It's a process. So where do you start? Start generating leads. Start implementing systems, not perfect, just operational, that will get your lead, Lindsay. That is the most important skill you can develop, is being able to predictably generate leads. Start with expired, for sale by owners, high probability leads. Open house leads, Facebook leads, those are good leads to work. Start with that. Start getting systems in place, whether you buy one, like you get the FSBO or the Expired Plus or whatever, or you learn it yourself, doesn't matter. If you learn it yourself, you're going to take my path a little harder, a little longer. It is what it is. But that's what you need to do first. Lead generation. You need to spend half or more of your time, effort, energy, money on generating new leads. Potential clients who want to move within the next, let's say, 6 months. That's your number one priority. There is nothing more important than that. And this goes for everybody. All of you guys who are not where you want to be financially, you're not where you want to be business-wise, you've got to implement or fix your systems that generate leads. That's the number one order of business. There's nothing more important than that. And there are only two ways to go about it. You're going to invest some money, either hire somebody who can do it for you, like an expert who can run a social media campaign for you, or you're going to roll up your sleeves and go do it yourself. So either you're going to pay with money or you're going to pay with time and sweat. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to give you is take one step at a time, daily. Daily. And here's what's going to help you. This is what helped me. I plan my days. I pre-plan my day. Here we are on Wednesday. Before you close the shop tonight on Wednesday, plan your Thursday and ask yourself just one simple question. What is the most profitable, most productive thing I need to get done tomorrow to get closer to my goals? And if you don't know the immediate answer, just let it sit. And then make sure that that thing that you're going to come up with is manageable. It's something you can accomplish that day. This will help all of you who feel stressed, who feel overwhelmed, or who feel like there's just too much to do and I'm not getting shit done and I'm not getting closer to my goals. Break it down into a manageable task that you must done. What is it tomorrow? I guarantee you it has to do with generating new business. It has to do with lead generation. So what is one most productive lead generation activity I can control and I can implement and I can complete tomorrow that will get me closer to my goals? And then master that. Become a master of lead generation. People who do really well in real estate are first and foremost masters of generating leads. That's kind of a theme of today's broadcast. All right? All right, Lindsay. Hope that helps you. Was that helpful? Yeah? Groovy. If you're just joining us, this is your Coach Borino coming to you live from Washington, D.C. Carla just joined us. Welcome. Mr. Riaz from Canada. Lovely always to have you on my programs. Very nice to have you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. If you have any questions, just post them in the comments. I'm going to try to get through as many as I possibly can. We're going to spend about an hour to get on a broadcast. Don't worry, there's nothing to sell at the end. I don't have like a big pitch or anything. This is just, I like to hang out with you guys. I like to give you some ideas, inspire you. I like to answer your questions, and it's just fun to kind of do this live once a week. All right? Groovy. Brian English, always good. Nice to have you, Mr. Brian. All right. Alexis says, I've been a buyer's agent pretty much the whole career, 2+ years, with a few listings sprinkled that I can fall into. I would much rather focus on listings, but I found that since sellers often move out of town, it seems like buyers are better source of referrals. So if I refer them out, a buyer's agent for a referral fee, I feel like I'd be building someone else's business faster than my own. What are your thoughts? That's a good point, Alexis. I would suggest develop a good relationship with the buyer's agent, but the ideal setup would be if the buyer's agent works for you. It's part of your team. If you can't do that, still focus on sellers. Don't worry about getting referrals. Sphere of influence will be good to you regardless. But it is a horrible investment on your time to focus on buyers, because if you think about it, it's going to take you 3 to 4 good buyers to put one on the contract that will actually close and you get paid. 3 to 4 if you really know what you're doing, if you're really good at what you do. How much time would you have to invest to get them pre-qualified, set up appointments with them, set up showing properties with them, showing properties to them, negotiating, signing contracts, filling out the contracts, negotiating those contracts? It's a huge investment on time. And just because you're thinking you might get a referral out of it, it's just a poor investment. It doesn't make sense. Focus 100% on listings. Good buyers, your sellers, double ending transactions will come from those listings. That should be your number one priority, Alexis. So don't get distracted by buyers. All right? Ria says, you are the best. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate those kind words. I really do. Thelma is with us. Mr. Glenn just joined us. And my man, Rockstar Brian, with the coolest looking real estate car in the world, I gotta say. Don't even get the Lambo. What you got, especially with the yellow now, looks absolutely awesome, my good man. Lead generation is the key, says Brian, and take it from the guy who's doing really well. Brian, what you gonna do this year? Are you gonna have a really good year, right, my man? It's so true. Most people want to avoid it, but at the end of the day, the sales business, and this is the foundation. Absolutely true. Whether you're going to work the leads, you're going to prospect, whether it's door knocking, doing expireds, or you're going to invest some money and some time into systems like online systems or all that, it's all about lead generation. Master that first. All right? Groovy, groovy, groovy. Welcome, guys. Here is the next question from Maka. Rockstars today sent an email to a FSBO asking if she would be willing to work with an agent if I bring a qualified buyer. And this is what I got back from her. I am so confused. Did she want to list with me? What do you guys think? I need to know how to approach this. So the FSBO says, hi there. Yes, I would be willing to work with an agent, but I would like to interview the agent in advance to set forth the fees, etc. Maka, this is really good. If you get these kind of replies, I call them IOIs. Whether it's a FSBO, it can be an expired listing, cancel listing, doesn't matter. Any type of a lead. This is an IOI, indicator of interest. Very good. You are on the right path. That means you got your foot in the door, you started building connection with them. So how do you proceed? Number one, stay in control. The seller is already trying to set up control frame. This is what I want, here's how we're going to do it. You from the beginning say, here's what's going to happen. And this is even the language you're going to use. James, thank you so much for getting back to me. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop by for about 10 minutes tomorrow, take a quick look at the property first and meet you. We'll have a quick conversation and we'll take it from there. See if we like each other, see if we click. If we do, we'll take it from there. And of course, one of the things we will definitely discuss is fees and commissions. I'll see you tomorrow. If 4:45 works for you, I'll be there. Looking forward to meeting you in person. That's the entire approach. You in control from the beginning, you set up the frame of control, high status agent who's driving, who is in charge. Because the moment you give up that steering wheel to the seller, you're fucked, it's over. Because then you're going to start being labeled as just another agent, as just somebody else trying to get the listing, just a desperate low status agent like everybody else. You don't want that. Be willing to walk away if your rules and your demands are not met. Now, I'm not talking about being arrogant. This is not about being pushy. This is not about being an asshole. This is being pleasant. This is having a good time. This is looking forward to meeting with the seller and having a pleasant conversation. But it's still a high status conversation where I control. What are we going to talk about? How it's going to happen when the terms are my terms. I'm driving. I'm holding the steering wheel. If the seller chooses not to be the passenger, that's cool. But you want to eliminate those as soon as possible so you don't invest a lot of time and effort and money until at the end you realize that you're working with somebody who's a dick. So you set it up from the beginning. They will also be attracted to the fact, wow, here comes an agent who knows what they're doing. He seems to really have it together. He's an authority. Very important to be perceived as authority rather than a salesperson. That's how you do it. Now, it takes some practice, it takes some skill, and it takes some confidence. That will come from both the experience and practicing it. Okay? But you don't give up. You don't give up control and you don't give up status, your positioning at the beginning because it would bite you in the ass at the end. Because then you would be just another pushover, somebody who can be manipulated, who can be pushed around. They're going to ask for discounts. They're going to ask for this and this and this. You don't want that. Okay? So that's your answer. Keep going after those FSBOs. They need your help, especially right now. Things will slow down as we headed for the holidays. And people who do need to sell are primo, excellent prospects to go after, whether it's expireds or FSBOs. Groovy? Jacqueline would like to get some open house scripts that she can use to better connect with the client. Excellent question, Jacqueline. First of all, I'm going to give you kind of a general rule of thumb. Don't worry about scripts. I don't like scripts. I think scripts are a hindrance. I think scripts are a barrier. Because the moment you start focusing on scripts, what am I going to say next? How am I going to phrase that question? You get from your heart, from a soul-to-soul, genuine human interaction and connection to reciting a script to become a salesperson and a telemarketer. The connection is severed. Now, the seller may not feel it, but they're aware of it. They may not register it consciously, but I guarantee you it shifts the dynamic and it shifts the authenticity of the conversation you want to have. So don't worry about scripts. With that being said, I'm a huge believer of dialogue outlines. That's what the core influence is all about. You know, I always show you these cards just to kind of show you what it is, because I often get these questions. So they look like this. Little outlines, just some bullet points that you practice so that you know how to control the conversation and where to take it. That's the sole purpose of it. With that being said, what do you do at an open house? Same thing you do with every type of somebody who's interested, every type of potential lead. You start with connecting with them. Smile, posture, body language is the first thing you're going to notice at an open house about you. How you dress, how you're composed, your accessories, very important. Good hair. Do I have a good hair? Do I look all right? Nice accessories. This, by the way, is a nice watch from my brother. So Mario, if you're watching this, thank you. I love the watch. These kind of things. Your posture, your clothes, always look very professional. Don't buy into this bullshit. My area is casual. Bullshit. No. You want to look money.
So fucking money. See, that's what I'm trying to tell you, babe.
Money. Okay? So you look good. You smile. Nice posture. You walk into the house. They sign the guest register. You shake their hand. You immediately establishing control. Just like we talked about the FSBO a second ago. Same concept. You establish control. They must sign in. You invite them in. You tell them what's going to happen next. Why don't you take a look around? There's this. There are some refreshments for you. Have any questions? I'd be more than happy to chat with you. How much did you guys sell your house for? One of the first questions I asked. What do I want to find out? Well, number one, are they renters? Do they live in the area? Do they have an agent that they work with? And is the house either under contract? Is it listed? Or is it not even on the market? With that little question, I accomplish a lot. And then I just keep asking questions. Do you guys live in the area? What type of home are you looking for? What if you found one this weekend? Wouldn't that be exciting? What would you do? Are you ready to buy? Have a conversation with them. So keep asking questions. Now the rule I want you to use, and this one works with every prospect. The rule I want you to use is 80-20. The rule of 80-20. As a matter of fact, let me write it down here. I'll put it right behind me. My beautiful artwork, we're going full color. I hope you guys like it. Is this good? Is this helpful, guys? Post some comments, let me know. So here's the rule of 80-20. Client, prospect, the person you talk to, speaks 80% of the time. Let them do most of the talking. You ask questions, then shut up and listen, and follow up. Don't think, what am I going to say next? And what am I going to ask next? Don't do that. Let them do most of the talking. You do 20% of the talking. The agent does 20%. What is it usually? Open house or presentation or whatever. Flipped around, right? No. 80-20. 80% of what you say should be questions. That's how you control the conversation, because the client or the prospect cannot focus on what to say and your question at the same time. That means you have the control over the conversation because they have to focus on your question. Does that make sense? Only 20% of what you say are statements. Groovy? That's how you do it. Have a chat with them. Don't expect a huge, like, oh wow, we found the best agent, give me a hug. That's not going to happen most of the time. You will establish some connection, but the power of the open house is not in the open house itself. That's just the first stepping stone, where you start the initial connection with them and get some basic information about them. The power is in the follow-up. Now, I don't want you to work with buyers. If these are just buyers, just average buyers, you're going to refer all those out. But many of the open house visitors could be neighbors who are thinking about selling, or buyers who need to sell something first. Those are the targets, those are the leads you go after. You text them immediately, maybe send them a picture of the house, you follow up with them, send them a nice handwritten thank you card, and then you call them back. No later than 24 hours. No later. That's where the magic happens. That's where you really need to own it. That's where you start qualifying them. You start probing to make sure they're able, willing, and ready. Willing, able, and ready. Groovy? I hope that answered your question. This goes for all the leads you're working with. All right, one thing I wanted to show you. Check this out. This is Janice Sanborn. I had the privilege to work with you, Janice. Awesome agent, cool agent from San Luis. We were talking about video, and Janice is one of those agents who is not looking for perfect. She just gets shit done. She just does the best she can with what she has. She grabbed this client, great guy, one of her past clients. She just closed the transaction with him, and she shot, or she had, maybe somebody else did it, I'm not sure, did a testimonial. Now, I can't play you the video, this is just a screen grab. But what I like about it is that she goes out there and does it. And it's not perfect. There are a couple of things I would definitely change about the video. But it's still 100 times better because she has one. The client says some really cool things about Janice. And she is moving forward. Next one will be better. Then the next one will be better. I love that, Janice. Really well done. This is a great tool. Client testimonials like this one. Very authentic. The guy speaks from the heart. And you can tell it's not scripted. It's not prepped. It's really real. But what's awesome about it is not only is this a good prospecting tool, because of the law of association, many sellers were scratching their head going, should we go with that one? Should we do that? Should we do that? Suddenly see this little video and they see themselves. That's the law of association. Now they apply the thinking and the decision that the client made to them. So that's one. You can whip this out also during your listing presentation. Shortened version, just 20, 30-second clips should definitely be part of your listing presentation, just like we use it in the Presentation Plus, right? But here's another tip you can do. Imagine you're talking to an expired listing or a for sale by owner or any type of high probability lead. And you're having a little chat with them, and halfway through the conversation, the seller says, well, all right, fine. Borino, but how are you any different than 20 other agents who want my listing? And you say, Jim, that's a really valid question. I'm glad you brought that up. You know what? Rather than me telling you, why don't I let one of my clients tell you? You hand them the phone or your iPad, and you hit play, and play the video. Extremely powerful. Because instead of you telling them now, you have a third-party endorsement for somebody who's very credible because they were in a position like the seller is. Somebody who's not a salesperson. On contrary, this guy is anything but a salesperson. Somebody who's genuine, who's authentic, who is now endorsing you. Very, very powerful. That's how you use these things. That's why I'm putting together that video course for you guys. I worked till midnight last night. 4 chapters are already done. It's going to be on video. It's basically how to use this, your regular iPhone, good old iPhone, to produce cool videos. That's going to be the course. You can't buy it yet, though. It's not done yet. All right, so I encourage you, do these little videos, do client testimonials. They work fantastic. They are awesome. They are very, very, very powerful. Thank you for all the likes, Edward and Ryan. I appreciated you guys. Nice to have you. Thanks for joining us for lunch. Are you having lunch or coffee? Awesome. Good to have you. Mr. Raymond says, great stuff. I appreciate those comments, Ray. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Ryan says, I love the 80-20 rule. It's really powerful. It takes some mastery. Here's the trick, Ryan. And that's why I encourage you guys, use those little recorders. Because in our head, I can tell you how many times I finished a presentation, I'm like, I got this one. Client did all the talking. I just asked a few questions and I played it back. I'm like, fuck me, that's not the same presentation. In our head, the presentation in our head that we replay back is not exactly what happened. So it takes some practice. That's why I encourage you. Get a role play partner, practice these things. It makes a huge difference. Groovy? Now, it takes some practice and it's a different approach to communicating. Because especially when we know that there is $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 commission on the line, we have a tendency to deliver, you know what I mean? To really unload on the client. And let me give you my 120-point plan of action. And let me tell you about all these beautiful things we're going to do because we are #1 in the area and we're going to crush it, blah, 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 blah. And you lost them. Right? This is a different approach. It's a high-status approach where throughout the entire interaction, my basic pattern is, or frame, I'm not really sure if we're going to work together. I'm not really sure we're going to like each other. Let's explore. But in order for us to determine that, I have some questions for you. In control. Okay? 80-20. Glad to like it, Ryan. Apply it. It works really well. And clients will appreciate it more because they now feel heard and connected and understood. Because at the end, it's them who want to tell their story. Where they don't give a shit how many years you've been in the business, how big is your company. Any of that stuff doesn't matter to them. They are the most important thing to them. Yeah? All right. Kimberly has a question. Hey, Borino, what if you have a FSBO that says they have a hidden key and they want you to take a look at it with actually going over to the house to meet you? I know they need to actually go to the house to meet me, but what to say to convince them to meet me? Thanks, Borino. You're awesome. Kimberly, excellent question. Here's what is really going on. The FSBO is deploying a brush, an avoidance behavior. Same thing that we talked about earlier. They're trying to set up a control frame. In other words, the FSBO is saying, here's how we're going to do it. Cannot fall into that trap. And I know sometimes it's so easy because it seems like, well, they're just busy, so I'm going to make it easy for them. I'm going to show them how agreeable, how flexible I am to help them. Wrong. Big mistake. Don't ever deviate from the plan, from the strategy, from the approach. Here's what's going to happen, this is how we're going to do it, and I'm in control. No exceptions. No deviations. No keys, no nothing. In order for us to work together, I need to take a quick look at the house. Now, because we're strangers, we have no reason to trust each other yet. I need you to meet me at the property. I know if it's inconvenient, we're going to find a time that works for both of us. But in order for us to move forward, that's going to happen first. I need you to give me a 10-minute tour. Would tomorrow at 5:15 work for you, or is Thursday at 6:45 better? Done. That's it. But I do it with knowing and understanding that if they keep stalling, if they dig their heel in the sand and they decide, no, I'm not budging. I'm going to the next one, and I'm okay with that. Because my mind, there's plenty, and there are, right? We live in a mind of abundance. And number two, I don't want to work with difficult people. I don't want to work with people who will set a lot of conditions that don't work for me. You know what I mean? If you come with power, strength, integrity, and confidence, many people will surrender to it gladly. Because they want somebody who's confident, who knows what they're doing. The last thing they want is a salesperson, and what they're worried about is that you're going to be another salesperson who's going to try to bash them over the head. That's why they're resistant. So to avoid that resistance, you set up the time constraint. You should give me a 5, maybe 10-minute tour. We'll talk real quick, and we'll take it from there. But if they insist, no, just grab the key, you say, well, it's not safe, and it's not smart either. I don't recommend doing it that way. But if you feel comfortable, I don't. What do you want to do? And just let it hang. And if they keep being difficult, goodbye. Next. And call them back a month later. See, the reason they're setting up these roadblocks, there are only 2 reasons. There are only 2. One, selling is not that important to them. If the property sells, awesome, but if it doesn't, no big deal. Not a client you want to work with. You want somebody who has pain. You want somebody who has a problem. You want somebody who has a strong drive to sell and live somewhere else, a motivated client. So either they don't want that, they don't have a strong core drive and emotion. That's the first possibility. Second possibility, they've been on the market for a very short period of time, and they think they got this. And you're just a nuisance. They don't really need you. So if you give them some time to really get a taste for what it's like to get a property sold in today's market, which is really difficult. That's why only 8% of the properties sold are sold by for sale by owner. Huge problem, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. Give them some time. Tell them, look, no worries. I understand that, but if that doesn't work for me, I don't work that way. Give it a try. Why don't I follow up with you in a couple of weeks? Boom, done. Yeah? And you watch how that integrity, that strength, and your willingness to stick to it will be very attractive to the seller if they want to sell. If they don't, you just saved yourself a lot of time, a lot of headaches, and a lot of hassle. All right, Kimberly, good on you to going after these folks. Keep going. Andres is a question. Borino, I have a FSBO that I spoke. He only wants to sign a month listing agreement. How could you go by this at least to get 3-month agreement? Andres, the problem is the same. Either you are perceived as just every other agent and the issue is trust. That means you botched the pre-listing and listing presentation. And it sounds to me like you don't have the presentation plus. That would be my first advice, just get it. Saves you a lot of hassle. I'm not here to sell you on anything, but I'm just telling you, it will walk you through the process where the psychology of the seller will not only be easy to understand for you, but you will know how to influence them. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, if they insist on 30 days, what they're really telling you is we don't trust you yet. There's not enough trust. They're still testing you. You need to get past that. Or the third possibility is, again, selling is not that important to them. They want it on their terms, they want it to do it their way, they just want to be in control. Either way, you're screwed, you're host. So what you got to do is go to the beginning and evaluate where did it got derailed in your relationship and communication with the client, where they started perceiving you as a low status agent and they gained control. Because what you need to do, you cannot convince them with some fancy line. You see, here's where so many trainers will, well, here's what you tell them. Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you would not go on 7-gallon tank from point A to B. Bullshit. If you try to just convince them, convincing is this. You come up with a line, a clever line, you're going to meet with a resistance, and now this is going to happen. And you can win that, and occasionally you will. But it just takes so much effort and energy, and at the end, it's going to snap back. Does that make sense? So there's a better approach. First, evaluate where did the status shifted from me being in control, high status agent, to them dictating the terms. So here's the thing. If the property takes 60 days to sell, 30-day listing doesn't make sense. What they're really telling you is, we're going to test you, see how you do. We're going to snap the whip and you're going to jump. We're going to whistle and you're going to jump. Because we're going to be in control. Why? Because we were screwed before, or we've seen so many incompetent agents screw up this thing. We don't trust anybody. Maybe it's you, maybe it's everybody in an industry. But what the real issue is the way you presented it and the way you positioned yourself. Now, the bad news is, many times you can't fix that. Once the first impression has been established, sometimes it's really hard, almost impossible to fix that. But sometimes you can salvage it. And sometimes the way you salvage is by willingness to walk away. By telling them, look, I wouldn't be doing you a service, guys. I understand what you're saying, and I feel like the problem is you don't trust me that I will get the job done. That means I made a mistake somewhere during our conversation or our presentation, and if I did, I apologize for that. But in order for me to help you, to get you the most money possible, to get us the good qualified buyer, it will require a certain time, which I'm sure you understand. But here's one thing I do offer you, like I offer to every single seller. If at any point you feel like I'm not delivering what I promised, if I'm not up to the standard that you expect from me, if I'm not the agent you were hoping that I was, it only takes one simple phone call and we're going to cancel the entire agreement. You'll feel free to walk and go to somebody else. I've been offering this for the last 10 years of my real estate career. Nobody has taken me up on it yet because I believe I deliver. I believe I take great care of my clients, and I would love for you to be one of them. What do you want to do? And you just smile and you listen. You don't sell yourself, you don't push, you don't beg, you don't convince. You simply listen. Allow, and this is really the mastery of communication, allow the circumstances to be so safe for them that they can tell you the truth. So big. I want you to get this. Allow the circumstances which you set be so safe for them. Allow them to be so comfortable with you that they can be honest and tell you the truth. That's the mastery. In this situation and any situation where your clients feel so safe or prospects feel so safe where they can be completely honest, they can open up and say, you know what, the last agent, he promised us all these things, never delivered, so we don't want to get screwed again. That's what you want. Groovy? Hope that answers your question. Very good question, by the way. Really good. All right. So go back and talk to the manager, set it up. The best way to make that happen is, by the way, in person. Because there's just something very open and very cool about face-to-face communication. So sit down with them in your office, have a cup of coffee with them, and just chat. All right, lots of likes for that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Groovy. Brian says, I finally got my seller testimonial video done. Good on you, Mr. Brian. It took me a whole new level. Amazing reactions from sellers to see it. Absolutely. But here's the coolest thing, Brian. Even if it's just so-so, if it's not perfect, it's still 100 times better than most of the agents. You know why? Because they don't have shit. They don't have a single one. So fantastic. Best news, you only need 3, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. You don't need a whole bunch. Just 3 or 4 really good short testimonials. That's what you're going for. Outstanding. But the one is 10 times better, 100 times better than nothing, which is what most agents have. Perfect. Post it on Rockstars, Brian. Would love to see it too. Kimberly says, thank you. My pleasure. I love that you so think outside the box, says Lawrence. Constant exploration, keeping it real, no BS approach. Well, thank you, sir. And that is really my mission, to give you no bullshit, you know. And you know what it is? I think it's because I've been where you are, guys. I've been in the trenches. I've had phones slammed on me, doors slammed in my face. I can relate to it. And what I share is not some theory I read in a book. Mr. Riaz says, hello, Borino. When I need motivation, just listen to you. When I need motivation, I just listen to you. Oh, thank you. That's part of, I know we all need a little oomph once in a while. I know I do. You know what motivates me is your success stories. God, when you start posting, like Jessica posted that new house she got, the cars you guys are getting, the lifestyle you're building, that's what motivates me more than anything. I have complete Success Plus. Now I like to have a video program. Please let me know when it's available. The new video program will be available within a month. Hopefully, I would love to roll it out before Christmas so you can start 2017 with some really cool marketing ideas you can deploy right away. The principles behind it are very simple. I want every single one of you to be comfortable with video. Using very simple tools, very inexpensive, very easy to produce. That's the whole idea. You don't need cameras like I have, a whole fucking TV studio here, thousands of dollars of equipment. You don't need any of that. The technology is so good now that with the right guidance, where you're going to get from me, for example, 75 ideas for videos. You're going to get script templates, the little bullets that will keep you on track to put these videos together. There'll be all kinds of cool stuff that will help you, including what do you do once you have these videos? Where do you post them? How do you get viewers to see it and all that stuff? So I'll walk you through the whole thing, whether you've done videos before or you're completely new and freaked out being in front of the camera. It's all good. It's for you. It's going to be really good. The downside is, you know me. I want, just like with the FSBO, the Expired, and all these programs, it to be really good. So I will take my time and make sure that what I teach you doesn't feel overwhelming, although it is a complex process, obviously, and it is a certain learning curve to it. But it's also good, where you get your value out of it regardless of where you are. Groovy? So stay tuned. It's coming. We are working on it. I've written about, first half of it is already done. My notes are done. We're going to shoot there'll be a lot of examples. I'm going to show you my videos, because I've been doing this for many, many years, as you know. I probably met you guys, many of you on YouTube, right? So there'll be a lot of examples, my examples, other agents' examples, what to do, what not to do, all that good stuff will be part of it. So we're going to put it together for you. All right. How does a newbie build confidence? Melanie wants to know. God, that's a good question. Well, try eBay. Cocaine works really well. Alcohol. How do you build confidence? Well, there are 4 parts to that. You can divide it, it's like a pie, into 4 chunks. The first chunk is part of your self-esteem. That's your personality. Many of these things we're either born with or they come during the early development stage, when we're children up to about 12 years old. A lot of that is set and very hard to move. In other words, if you're raised as a confident, healthy, well-adjusted child, then you're not only minority, because most of us are fucked up because of our upbringing, but you've gotten a tremendous gift. So that's a big chunk of that. There is not much you can do about that other than psychotherapy, I guess, on some really good drugs. The second part will come from experience, doing this a lot. For example, I get people asking me, well, how can you do this live? Like right now, we're coming to you live. How do you do that? You're so confident and you know what to say and stuff. You should have seen the first ones. Like I still have archived some of my old videos. I did one of the first videos. That'll be part of the program, by the way, strictly for entertainment value. But what it's going to show you is the progression that we all go through, whether it's in real estate, in video, in marketing, in life. There is a certain progression that will come from experience. So an agent who's been at it for 10 years, of course, has a much bigger predisposition to feel confident because they've seen all kinds of crazy shit. They've heard all that crazy stuff. They've been through all kinds of things that happen during this crazy business, during the transaction. You know what I mean? So those are the first 2. The other comes from practicing. And the cool thing about practicing is it has to do with the way our subconscious mind is wired. See, our subconscious has a lot of power. Most of our decisions, most of our behaviors, most of our emotions come from that, from a subconscious mind where we don't control it with our rational, logical brain. In most times, this serves us really well because you don't have to think consciously about all these automatic things that we do and deal with. The trouble arises when the subconscious takes over and starts manipulating our experiences or behaviors by something that is no longer serving us. That's where we're going to run into a problem. Okay? So by repetition through role plays, for example, through practicing your listing presentation, through standing in front of the camera and just recording a video over and over to practice, you start overriding some of that programming. And you're going to get mastery a lot faster. Because whether you sit in front of a real seller during an actual listing presentation, or you sit in front of your sister practicing the presentation, your subconscious mind experience is identical. You cannot tell the difference. That's why we get scared in the movies. We know logically we sit in this dark room and it's make-believe on the screen, but the feelings we have are real. It's the same principle. That's why I so strongly encourage you, wherever you feel like you need help, whether it's presentation or prospecting or follow-up or objections, practice it. Practice the shit out of it and keep going over and over and over because you're mastering it on 2 levels. One is, of course, the conscious level, where you become more flexible. You will know the right answer. You will know the right questions to ask. But also subconsciously, you're building up your ability to feel more grounded, to feel more in control. Does that make sense? So those are the first 3. The last chunk has to do with your physiology. Your physiology impacts your psychology. That means how you carry yourself, how you dress, how you appear impacts how you feel about yourself. You put these 4 together. Now, I'm sure experts in psychology will probably add another 2 or 3 to it, but these are the core ones. If you work on these, you will feel better. Yeah? Little quick helpful tip? Helpful? All right. Ryan says, I have not had great success marketing to expireds. I believe it's due to the being in a rural area. Any ideas where I should put my energy? Closest target market is 40 minutes away and 250K population. Yeah, Ryan, your area is important. You can be either in a really hot market where not that many expireds, or you have to drive around, it's spread out. If the market is not there, you cannot create it. If the homes are so spread out that it takes forever to get from one to the other and you don't have that many opportunities, you're screwed. So the recommendation I would be shift your marketing strategy, but in an area like that, any marketing strategy will be hard because you just don't have that many opportunities. And at the end, your success is purely a numbers game. That means if you live in an area with 300,000 people, you have much better chance to encounter, connect, and help more people who statistically will move than if you have people with, let's say, population of 20,000 or less. Plus, the mechanics become more challenging, where you have to spend a lot of time driving from property to property. So your success, it will be harder to succeed in an area like that. And there's nothing you can do. No fancy marketing or fancy strategies can substitute a good, vibrant market. Yeah? Good question. Andre says, thank you. Meeting the FSBO tomorrow. Awesome. That's the way to go. Excellent. Elias says, I need the program. Videos are my weakness. Never have made one. And you're not alone, Elias. I've read some statistics, and here are some interesting statistics. Over 70% of the sellers and buyers who did a survey through NAR say we would rather do business, we would prefer to do business with an agent who uses video. And between 8 and 12% of the agents actually use video. And out of those 8 to 12%, most of it is hokey, shitty, poorly produced. So I totally understand where you're from. I created the program. I started doing the Real Estate Video Plus program based on the need I see that you guys have. There are other courses out there that will teach you how to do video. There are other courses out there that will teach you how to use cameras, how to do all that stuff. But there isn't a course that will teach you how to do it effectively, inexpensively, and quickly. So that's what we're going to do. You will be up and running very quickly. We'll do some exercises where you feel comfortable in front of the camera. I will show you some examples of what your video should be about, and we'll talk a lot about what you should not put on the video or not bother with, how not to be salesy, how to connect with people, just like the videos you watch. It's just another example of my philosophy. I can only teach you stuff I know, and because I've done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos, I know a thing or two. And it's become a great source of my business and many of you guys. Yeah? So, would love to have you on board. It's going to come out. We are working on it. I'm very excited about it. All right, Melanie says, thank you. Ryan says, I'm going to go video crazy, and that's the idea. Because a lot of your success will depend on quantity, which means the more videos you have, just by statistically, you're going to have a better chance. It's just like fishing. If you have 3 hooks in the water, it's not as good as if you imagine you had 50, 60 hooks in the water. Much better chance of catching some fish. And I'll show you how using just this little guy, this, and a few little apps, you can produce very good videos. A lot of the videos you guys watch, my videos on YouTube, many of them are produced on this little iPhone 6. That's it. I don't drag all my equipment around as much anymore. I will still use it for broadcasts like these, or if I produce something really nice where I really want more than just the basic stuff. But for 90% of the stuff you watch, iPhone, totally. All right, my friends, groovy, man. Excuse me. A lot of good questions. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Was this helpful? Do you guys feel like you got your money's worth? We covered a lot of good stuff. For those of you coming to Miami, I am still coming. I will still be there. Many of you bought tickets. Many of you are looking forward to it. You want to come and join me and learn some cool stuff. I'm excited. I will be there. We're arriving on Tuesday night. If you see me, do stop by, say hello, shake my hand. I can't wait to meet you. There's a big conference coming up in Miami. I think there are still a few tickets left, so if you want to check it out. Lab Coats Agents are putting it together. It's Lab Coats Agents Live. Great 2.5-day event. We'll be there for a couple days. And I can't wait to meet you. All right, my friends, another Borino Live behind us. Thank you so much for being here live. I very much appreciate it. If you're watching this on replay, appreciate it. Post your comments and definitely like and subscribe to the channel. More good videos coming your way, more good stuff coming your way. We have more training for those of you who are members of the Listing University or just my subscribers and clients. We have some webinars coming, we have role plays coming, the video program is coming. I want to help you with that because I see that as a great opportunity to expand your sphere, to expand your potential prospects, and to deliver better presentation, better communication to your clients. That's the way it's going to go. Video is not the future. Video is here right now. You need to be on board. Cool? If you have any other questions, I'm just an email away. It's borino@expiredplus.com. And if this was your first time with me, I very much appreciate you being here. For those of you who are my rock stars and friends that I feel privileged to call friends, thank you again. We'll talk real soon. We'll do another one. It's not going to be next week because we will be in Miami, but I will try to put one together while we're in Miami. But we're definitely going to pick up when I get back. We do this once a week, and I like chatting with you. Have a terrific rest of the day. Your Coach Borino signing off. I should put that hat back on. Rockstar Borino signing off. Have a terrific day. We'll talk real soon. Let's go get him. Bye, everybody. Ciao.